And welcome back. We are here for our tournament final table of the 6K guaranteed prize pool. $150 MegaStack Freezeout. We are down here to our final 9 players. As look at this. We've got the professor, we've got Johnny, and welcome back, Rob Flo. 4 straight weeks here at the final table. And he's going to shove all in here in his first hand here. Albert, the short stack. Blinds 3,000 and 6,000. And going to go ahead and pick up the big blind and ante. How you guys doing? It's Sunday. That means we're here for the final table. My name is Mike Youngblood, a.k.a. Dude Talking. Thank you to all those that watched the final table, or excuse me, the 1-3 Pot Limit Omaha game last night. Your man, I got to be in there on that table. Played four-handed with William the Net. Alan, Super Chatter, and Everett. It was a fun game once we got down to four-handed. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, you can check it out on the archive. So that was kind of neat to actually play on that table that we've done so much commentary for here for the past 8 months or so. But got a lot of returning players. I believe this is the first time for Mays. Robert back here to the final table. Good to see him back here. We've Johnny, a frequent player of our cash games. He and his wife Esther, excuse me, play here quite a lot. Esther was actually on our ladies' night final table. Johnny said, "Hey, this is the first time I've really gotten to play this tournament structure," and he's going to 3-bet the opening raise here by Cole, who's on our final table a couple of weeks ago, and he's sitting with a ton of chips. So Cole had opened here under the gun with ace-8 offsuit. J. Earl. We do not know what Johnny had, but I'm going to probably assume a big pocket pair, but maybe ace-king, but. So here we are. We had 44 total entries here into the prize pool. Again, a guaranteed prize pool of 6K. We've met with 6,600 total. And the prize pool, first place going to be $2,640. Second place, $1,650. Third, $990. Fourth place, $730. And fifth place, $590. So the next 3 players to bust out of this tournament will go home empty-handed. Rob going to shove all in here, 40K. Jay Earl right behind him with the short stack himself. Probably going to push right in over here to the top. Pretty standard thus far. Moves, I think both players can totally justify. Rob Float does not want to be the third one in the pot. Looks like all the queens are probably dead at this point, so things looking a little hairy here for J. Earl. So they're flipping up ace-king versus ace-queen. And here we go. As the run out comes, we'll not split this up. It is going to go to Robert, who's going to get a bit of a double up here. And move his chip stack probably north of about 100,000 here after that hand. And we're updating the scroller here, so scroller showing the 1-3 game here from last night. Thank you to Greg Brown, $4.99 super chat sticker. Again, if you want to show your support for TCH Live, hit the super sticker, hit the super chat, and as always, do your patriotic duty to TCH Live and clobber that like button. Launch a full-on attack. So. All right, so we've got Cole, the chip leader right now, Mays right behind him. Everybody else jockeying for position as top 5 places pay here tonight. So hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I'm still kind of sweating out the booze after celebrating last night. So absolutely as fun a time as it gets to play on the live stream table. So I hope at some point you all who want to play get a chance to get on there too. Great to have Alan Piscatello here in the chat. Played on that stream as well, so We had a good old time there, but we continue here. Welcome back to Professor Tournament Crusher. Always just seems to get here in these spots. A threat to win any tournament that he enters, and gonna open up here, one off the under the gun here with Ace Jack. Johnny here gonna call here with Queen Jack suited. Rob Flo in the hijack here with King 10. And we are going to get 3 players here with 83K. Professor with about one of the middle stacks here as top pair here for Rob Flo, second pair here for Johnny. And backdoor diamonds, Professor here with a straight draw to a 10. Gets checked to Johnny. He's going to lead at it here. About a fourth of a size bet pot. Here with second pair. Now a decision coming here. Hey, there's some guy there in the background taking pictures. It looks awfully familiar. I think that's me. Again, we are on a 15-minute delay here on our live stream as we're going to get a bet and a call here. Rob Flo with the best hand, but Johnny with some ounces. They're both going to turn straight draw odds. Johnny here with a straight draw here to a 10. Rob Flo with a straight draw to a jack, but with 3 clubs out there, there is a chance he might be able to push Rob Flo out of the pot because, you know, Johnny can lead with the jack 10 here often. Sometimes you may make this bet with, say, like ace queen with the ace of clubs, or Rob Flo looking at a smallish bet size here into a pot that was like 135K or so. So it's not really priced out of it. Johnny's only going to have about 88K back, so whatever bet that he makes on the river, if he decides to try to make one more barrel at this, would realistically be for all of his chips. And it's going to come out the 7 of spade. And going to go check, check. So certainly understand Johnny freezing in that spot. I'm not sure I love the turn lead there per se, but you kind of understand his process in that he could maybe get somebody to fold, still representing a stronger hand than King 10. But yeah, hey, Rob Flo making his 4th straight final table appearance, and you see why right there. Calling with the best hand. All right, what's going on, Ernesto? What's going on, Fee? The 603. William Lottie here in the chat. Many folks coming on in early saying, hey, where's my TCH live? Where is it? So we appreciate y'all's passion here for our show. As Johnny here with about 10 big blinds, and he's got queens. Surprised it just didn't open a rip here, but gonna put in at least a quarter of his stack. Looking for some action, and he might get it here with Cole on the button. Plenty of chips to play with. Gonna call here with ace jack offsuit. All right, here we go. 74K and 8 high spades. Good board there for Johnny. Oh, he's going to check right here to Cole. I love this check. We've got a bet on the flop here by Cole. Cole could very well assume Johnny's maybe making a bet here with a lesser ace, perhaps, or a hand similar to his that oftentimes, sometimes a bet like here can just freeze out your opponent. But unfortunately, now he's priced himself in as it's going to be roughly another 30K more for him to call. Somewhere in the neighborhood of that is going to have to. Johnny, apparently, yeah, okay, so he's got his last 2K in. And gonna fade an ace here on the river. So Johnny has doubled up here to 196K. We are off and running Here on our final table of the $150 6K guarantee prize pool. Our final table here, as always, Mike Youngblood on the call, a.k.a. Dude Talking, super producer Carolyn at the controls, at the dials. So Maze is now going to be our chip leader after a good chunk of Cole Stack taken off. Rob Flo right there in the mix, right behind him. Now Johnny and the Professor jockeying for position as top 5 places are going to pay here. We have seen in recent weeks the table electing to pay out an extra place, so we'll see if that does occur. JTN says, hey Mike, so how did you do in the win last night? Probably won like $400. I mean, I was down, I think, 300 at one point. And hey, the poker gods extended an olive branch. William the net flopped bottom set with a flush draw. I flopped top 2. Filled up here on the turn, and we just got the money in. And yeah, four-handed PLO is just a different monster. It's just, you're kind of forced to play some more hands. That the feedback I got was, okay, maybe you shouldn't play this. Maybe you could have played this a little more aggressively. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. All right, we got Jay Earl pushing in his last 26K. He got chipped down, pushing ace-queen over ace-king. Maze and Cole here in the mix. Great flop here from Maze. His gut shot, straight draw, and diamond draw. Ace-high still best. And he makes it here on the turn. Now it does give Jay Earl a straight draw, but it's going to have to be one of the 2 or 3 remaining 6s in the deck. Here to stay alive, or else we have our first elimination here at the final table. It's going to be a 4-ball on the end, so Maze increases his chip lead up to 446K. Jay Earl has been eliminated. Good game, sir. Oh, Alan says, don't forget that nut straight against flush draw, gut shot, and the baby straight, baby flush draw to triple up to get you in position 2. Yeah. It was kind of a semi-wrap against Alan. I think I was like the only hand I can remember really playing against you, sir. Had a set and a nut flush draw against Everett. But, I mean, everything was, $25 to $30 pre-flop, so as soon as you win a hand, it could be putting it right back in the middle. So, yeah, it was a bit of a controversial 1-3 PLO game last night. Some tensions were high, and I think some controversy just around a decision about running it twice. And I hope cooler heads have prevailed. We kind of talked around the poker community just about it here today, and hey, you get a little juiced up on the alcohol on a Saturday night, things can kind of snowball. Players from another card room in Houston tend to do things a little bit differently. So it's just unfortunate that we had a communication breakdown. But nonetheless, that is poker, and hope cooler heads prevail here on Sunday. Oh, yeah, Alan, talking about that. I had Jack 9. I flopped straight. Turn gave Alan like a ton of outs, and I'm just looking over at William. I'm like, red deuce, and got a red 4. So, yeah, he had a lot of outs. I did not jam the flop because my hand was so vulnerable that I was just going to kind of wait for a turn card to come out before it decided to commit the rest of my chips, so. But enough about me. You guys want to hear me yak about PLO, or do you want to hear some final table breakdown? So, Albert, Rob. How about Albert getting back here? He's known how to battle with a short stack. So Albert going to shove here with King Queen, looking for the double ump. And he may get looked up here by Johnny as, with an 8K big blind and big blind ante. He's got that 16K already in the middle. Does technically have the best hand here with ace-6 off, but I always feel squirmy about these spots because you're almost rarely ever a huge favorite against anybody. And there's so many times here where a player's going to push where they may have a better ace, but... And when you're on the bubble here in this spot, too, it's not the ideal position to be in, so I don't blame him necessarily for folding. But I think he had enough chips there that he could try to take a stab at it, but going to maintain his chip position and hold on right there as Albert's going to pick up some chips, but still with a lot of work to do. So saw that there on the previous screen. First place 2,640, second 1,650, third 990, fourth 730, and fifth 590. I appreciate that, Alan. That was cool to get to play with you. A very neat final table, or a neat stream to be on. So, all right, we got Professor here with Ace Queen. Maze at open. Rob flat calls. Professor doing what he does. Going to jam right over the top here with Ace Queen. And are we off to the races? That's a lot of chips to put in here with threes. So Maze is going to get out, and Rob is going to call off the last of his 75K. TCH regular here. Good to see him back. It's been a while since I've seen him here, and unfortunately he's going to get out flopped here with a queen. And now trip queens here for the Professor, and now he is sitting pretty here with a ton of chips. Now up to 246K. We say good game here to Rob. Always a tough player to play against in the tournament field, so we'll probably see him back here again at some point. John Shack, hey Mike, sorry if I came out rude. I didn't even remember you being in the chat, so no worries, John. T1 dude makes me overly cautious. Yeah, I get it. We've all been through a lot. We're all trying to kind of get to the end of this COVID stuff where we can kind of get back to normal. So it's no sweat there, brother. It's just kind of something that pops up, and I think you can like always recognize that it's happening and just say, hey, that dude's mask is a little bit off the mark, and it's okay, that's fine. But I think it's some of the folks that just go on and on and on about it that it's as if we didn't notice. So like, I don't blame you whatsoever. The world has gone nuts. We're just trying to stay sane ourselves. So, all right, middle pair here for Maze. He's going to bet 15K. Now Albert has a queen high flush draw, maybe some backdoor straight cards, over cards to the pair of fours. So he's about a coin flip here if he decided to play, but this is not, I think, an ideal spot in the long term that you ever really want to be jamming with no fold equity with a third nut flush draw. No, it says we're going to lose a pot. Good to lose one to the good guys. I'm glad I've earned that enough reputation. I kind of assumed I was going to get roasted, but it doesn't appear that was the case. My parents were kind of giddy about it. They said that was kind of nice to hear all the support. They don't get to see their kid very much, so I was glad to be able to showcase that to my folks at home who know nothing about poker to a degree, but still get a kick out of their son. All right, so Maze limps here with King 9, Johnny limping here with King Jack, Rob Flo gonna fold. AK Venom here with 10-8, gonna check his options. We go three ways. Two's a flop. Top pair here for Johnny, second pair here for Venom, and some backdoor straight cards. Maze here with a straight draw to a queen. Johnny with about 168K. Gonna go ahead and protect his hand and raise it up here 50K. I think that's probably gonna be it here unless Mays really wants to make a loose call, but I will say this, so like if you're in Mays' position and you do limp with those hands, I absolutely love the fact that you come out and bet it just because that's where you kind of make up the margins as far as the long-term equity on that. Like, it's not a great position to be in up front here with King 9, but if you get a board like that, you could take some really cheap flop leads and, you know, 2 times out of 3, you're probably picking up the pot. John Shack, Rob, Flo, and Cole are legit tournament players in Austin. They usually hit the final table, if not final 3 at most tourneys in the past 2 months. Yeah, Cole puts in a legit volume. I will get a better idea as to how he plays in this table than the final table that we had like 3 weeks ago, where it was Cloud, Shane, Cole. One of the kind of odder final tables we've had where everybody's so short that they're kind of squeezing each other. So we'll get a better idea of how Cole will do here with a bunch of chips. He's been on the downward end of things, but Johnny here with a pair of 9s, the over pair sitting good here. Bet 75, and that probably should be it. So John mentioned this last week that there was a hand during the tournament where quads got busted by a straight flush, and that was actually Cole. So who knows? He could have been deep in this thing last week had that not gone his way. But I think we all know poker just has a lot of gross moments in it too. So. And hit that like button, click subscribe. Over 10,100 subscribers. We made the 10,000 subscriber mark here this week, so we've had a lot to celebrate. I know the world is kind of a chaotic place, but it's kind of the silver linings here that keep us going every day here at Texas Card House. A super, super duper busy day for us. Friday night was chaotic. A lot of tables happening. And today was no different, as had a bunch of 1-2 and 1-3 tables opening. All right, Albert's going to pick it up as short stack ninja and frequent player on our streams. You see him often on the 1-3 Thursdays. Played, I think, one of the PLOs as well, but just tends to get here. And Albert took a lot of heat the last time he was a short stack on the final table, probably about a month ago, but his strategy really paid off. And he and I agree a lot on one thing as far as just often you want to be the person pushing and just picking up blinds and antes when you're a short stack rather than trying to call off your money with no fold equity. So that's the one thing I really appreciate about his game, even if some of y'all maybe didn't agree then. All right, we got a shove by 8K Venom. Professor here with ace queen. He's got a better hand and a chance to knock out another player. Absolutely, Alec Torelli's hidden chips, but he won 100%. All right, ace queen versus ace 8. Venom looking to spike an 8. And getting in a 9 or an 8 on the end. Jack's not going to do it. So Venom has been knocked out. So just like that, we've just had a whole bunch of knockouts very fast here on the live stream. So we are now on the bubble. Top 5 places paying. So the next player to get eliminated will walk out of here with nothing. Absolutely zero. But the experience of a fine day here at Texas Card House here at our MegaStack Freezeout 25-minute levels. Players start with 30K starting stacks and also 5K on time bonus, 5K dealer appreciation here for $10. Make sure to always take care of your dealers. The fine folks who put in the long hours to make this place work. Our floor staff and our cage. Top-notch pros here. See our guy Jordan here as in the box here for us. All right, blind versus blind. Professor, a little surprised here that maybe he didn't complete there with the Jack-9 offsuit. But here on the bubble, it's going to maintain a real razor fold strategy. And he's also seeing Albert across the table with only 8 big blinds and a round of blinds coming up. So rather than potentially playing a hand out of position where he could put his chip position in jeopardy, just says, all right, I'm going to fold this one out. So that makes sense. John asking Mikey, has TCH ever done bounty tournaments? I remember doing some maybe like a year ago or so. We have done them in the past, but Professor going to raise up here on the button with King Queen. Johnny going to fold his 10-4 suited. Rob Flo here with ace-jack, and he's going to defend. Again, at this point of the tournament where I think a 3-bet is a little too dangerous, though I wouldn't be too displeased if he had done it, but a board that runs out all diamonds, neither player is connected. Rob Flo still the best hand with ace high, and 7-ball comes. See if anybody bets at this, because if they do, they win. And Rob Flo's instincts picking up here that he can pick up this pot with a bet, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Boom. Let's see, Andrew says, hey, what's up, Mike? So got stacked all in pre-flop, $1,300 pot, aces versus kings at Maryland Live Casino Friday. Super painful. I knew he had aces. Couldn't find the fold. Yeah, man, that is, you wait forever to pick up kings, and there's just nothing. I mean, we could probably go into a whole different strategy discussion if it's ever really feasible to fold kings in that spot. Unless you absolutely know you're up against the tightest player ever and you get like 5 or 6 bet. Then usually you have some clue. But always very difficult to fold that particular spot. So we're going to have a limp here by Mays. All right, Mays had limp. Now Johnny's picked up ace-king. Lines 4 and 8,000. He's looking like he's going to make it like 45-ish. Make it 43K. Albert folds, and everything going really well here for Johnny thus far. Kind of, by his own admission, more of a cash game player. But doing very, very well. So as you see, Rob Flo, Mays, Cole, Professor, and John. I mean, not a whole lot of separation between them. Albert here, the short stack with less than 6 big blinds, and he is in the small blind. With one double up here would keep him afloat. So it looks like we've got blinds 5,000 and 10,000 here with the 10,000 big blind ante. I want to come back to the talk about bounty tournaments here in a moment. All right, folded all the way around as Cole will check his option. Mays electing to limp under the gun, kind of disguising the strength of his hand. Going to flop all hearts too here with the ace of hearts. Cole here with straight draw to a 6. Oh, it gets it. So straight here for Cole. And a quick bet of 15. A quick call here with a nut flush draw. Misses it. Cole's going to induce the bluff here with a check because, I mean, there is a possibility sometimes maybe your opponent has flopped a flush, but feeling like maybe he's got to pay off a hand. He's got the goods, though. It ain't high straight here for Cole, and picking up some of those chips that he lost earlier there to Johnny. What's going on, Cat P? Wave. Hi, Mike. How's it going? How are you? All right, so we're talking a little bit about bounty tournaments. I think previously we would do like once a month on Sundays as part of the rotation before like we started streaming some of these final tables. I would be all for if we put in like a monthly 500 or 250 or like a bigger buy-in like once every month or so. I mean, I'm not sure what how the Austin poker community would respond, but that used to be the fixture. With Sunday, it was always you have a big buy-in tournament once per month. So we've done some 6 max, we've done some 1K guarantee. I mean, we kind of in the 3 years I've been here, we've been all over the place as far as how we structured some of the tournaments. Rebuys, re-entries, 6 max. So, I mean, there's always open for feedback. And I would totally fully support if we ever had like a once per month bigger buy-in tournament, maybe mixing a bounty in there as well. V says, I try not to tweet. I feel the same way, and I wish there was others that felt the same way. But I'm not going to get into that and touch it with a 10-foot pole. More important things to do than tweet. All right, so Albert going to shove here with Queen Jack. We see a King Jack has been folded. If we don't get anybody else in here, Johnny is most definitely going to call here with some 4s. All right, so Johnny calls. You got yourselves a good old-fashioned coin flip, but with some of the outs that have been folded, it gives Johnny almost a 60-40 edge here as a good flop for 4s. Gonna need some help, though. Gonna need some help, and a straight on the board. They're gonna chop it up. Albert survives. John Shack saying, hey, I like Albert's game. Not a big Eagles fan, so that hat kills me. I kind of agree. I put it past him because Albert's such a nice guy. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, so we don't have a friendly history with those fly Eagles fly, but credit to him, as passionate a fan base as there is in sports. If you want to call it that from the fine folks of Philly, please do not, if any of you are from Philly, do not throw batteries at me or attack me, because that is one thing. No, I kid, of course. Again, hit that like button if you haven't yet. Click subscribe. J. Cole. I want to call him J. Cole, not the R&B artist. Cole raises here with Jack 10 suited. We're going to get a 3-bet my mains with queens, and that will probably wrap things up here as 68K more to call. Here on the bubble, it is... I think it would kind of be ICM suicide to try to call this out of position, but it's such a pretty hand, though. And Cole kind of recognizing this as... And he's going to give it up as he should. Doesn't seem to like it, but it is the right decision. What's going on, our guy Jimmy Bluffett? I wish I can give you admin or moderator privileges here from this vantage point. We might have to work that out. I think this guy mods like every poker Twitch and YouTube channel out there. Jimmy was a $150 buy-in, 6K guaranteed prize pool. We had 44 players for a prize pool of 6,600. So not bad for a $150 tournament here at Texas Card House in Austin. Let's see. We've got Johnny picking up the pot. John Shack, wasn't it the Browns fans that went crazy after reverse touchdown after the field goal? The reason we don't have bottles anymore. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons why we don't have actual glass bottles at sports stadiums anymore. Are you thinking of the one where there's a linebacker named Dwayne Rudd? They're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs miss a field goal as time expires. Dwayne Rudd takes his helmet off in celebration, and they flag him a penalty for it for taking off his helmet on the field. I like to think that's what you're thinking of, but I can't specifically remember the bottle throwing incident. Allen says different game. Okay, yeah. Cleveland, those people have been through enough. They have been. All right, King 9 versus 9-7. Albert has got about 45K back. He's got 20K in the middle. Has no fold equity here. And it pains to have to fold there, but he's going to have to. Alan says there was a bottle game where they had to switch the end zone to finish the game. I think, yeah, no, I'm going to have to look that up afterwards because I can kind of vaguely remember that. What are some of your favorite memories of sports chaos erupting at a stadium? Leave us a line here in the TCH live chat. Got Rob Flo picking up some jacks here on the button. Here with blinds 5,000 and 10,000. Raise up here to 40. Cole going to defend here with some 8s, some ochos. The Michael Irvin. Saw the Cowboys were televising their scrimmage earlier on today. So Cole here has flop bottom set. Rob Flo going to check behind and now turns 8s full. Rob Flo can make a better hand here if he gets a king or a jack. So he's got 4 outs here to the end. Six ball on the end. The heart probably kills the action here for Cole just because I think if you have like an offsuit 6 there, Rob Flo can probably be more enticed to call. At this point, he's just attempting to bluff catch any missed draws between Queen Jack, Jack 10. 10-7 got there, 7-6 missed. Obviously, he's behind any king and any set, but and he's going to call. Oh, my goodness. Rob Flo has been to the final table 4 straight weeks, and a rare misstep for him. As a good bet there by Cole. Was able to get Rob Flo to pay him off with a lesser hand. Boy, we got a lot of things going here in the chat. So we had Allenson, that was at the last Brown game. Okay, that's the last Browns game. The 603. Says the Jaguars beat the Seahawks, and the Jags fans were throwing food and beer at a player who got ejected. Allenson, I was at the last Browns home game when they ripped up the stadium and threw it onto the field. Fans had power tools to saw it up and were walking down the street with rows of seats. I don't know if you guys ever saw this way back in the old Metrodome days, but the Iowa Hawkeyes beat the Minnesota Golden Gophers, I think, in like 2004, 2005-ish. They took the goalpost from inside the Metrodome and carried it out of the stadium. I thought that was impossible. That there's no way on earth that you could have possibly done it, but Iowa fans found a way. All right, the professor raising. Albert's going to get his last of his 35K in with a weaker king. And the bubble could potentially burst here if Albert does not spike a jack. All right, here's the run out. No jack. It's going to be a jack or a jack only. And, oh, he spikes it on the end. You cannot kill Albert like a cockroach. He just keeps surviving nuclear winter. Spikes it on the very last card. He's back to 9 big blinds. Rob flowed down to 14 big blinds. And our guy Bert coming on in to color up some of the chips here as we're at 5K and 10K. Way to go, Albert. Squeaks out a jack on the river. Jimmy Bluffett says, was at the Thanksgiving game Miami at Dallas in a rare snowstorm. I believe that was 1994. Thought Dallas won, so we get up to leave, only to see them try to pick up a blocked kick to lose. Yeah, now that teams use a collapsible goalpost because everybody just loves to tear them down, and that's always a safe thing for drunk college kids to do. Just jump up on a large metal structure that's not very solidified and try to tear it down. Oh boy, do I miss my youth. Rob Flo had limp with 10K, and Albert's going to pick up some more chips, so how about this? Come back, Al. John Hurston, of course, the Pacers, Pistons, Malice at the Palace with Artest fighting the crowd. I was a freshman in college and was watching that game live. I can remember exactly where it was like a Friday night. I was obviously not getting busy, but was at home, I think eating something out of the microwave, watching in shock as Steven Jackson punched a fan in the crowd that tried to attack him. And the thing Ron Artest said after that game is like, do you think we're going to be in trouble after this? Like, you're going to be lucky. Like, he literally did not think that he was going to be in much trouble for that, and he wound up being suspended for the entire year. I was a big Artest fan back in those days because he was a little bit nuts, very intense, a chip on his shoulder, my kind of guy. All right, 7 high flop as Cole had to raise 3x. Continues here with the flop bet of 40K, a call here with ace 10. Now Cole is going to turn a gutter ball straight, draw. 3 diamonds here on the board, and his aggression is just going to drive out Mays. I would be very shocked if he floated him one more straight on this. So unless Mays has misread his cards and thinks he has the ace of diamonds, or else he's thinking about making a move here. He knows it's the bubble. He knows Cole's trying to be as aggressive as he can to pick up chips in some of these spots, but it's, again, not many players are good enough to pull the trigger in that spot. It's just, you give it up to your opponent there. Cole is up to 607,000. Very well done. So he's got almost double the chips of Mays, Johnny, and the Professor. Rob, Flo, and Albert. Now equal here as the short stack. Artest lost his mind. Meta World Peace. LOL. He became much more peaceful over time. Like, I think even when they won the finals with the Lakers, the first guy that the first person he attributed to his success was his therapist. So, yeah, some guys have a tough life, and it leads into some kinds of dysfunctional behaviors when you're competing. Johnny going to shove here from the small blind as he will pick up the pot. Yeah. Ron Artest had it pretty tough. So I always loved the guy, but not everything he did was totally defensible. But all right, so again, don't forget tomorrow our 5-5 uncapped, no limit hold'em cash game. We're gonna have high hand Tuesdays and Thursdays here at Texas Card House from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. I also believe Texas Royal Touch does like a drawing or giveaway on Tuesdays. I'm going to have to double check that, see if they're still doing that. But they have done that with their licensed massage therapists on Tuesdays as well. So if you come in here, you'll be entered into a drawing to get yourself a free massage from the best. All right, there's Rob Flo going to pick it up here out of the small blind, big blind. Charles Voigt, where can you get TCH merch? That would be at any front desk here at any of our Texas Card House locations. I believe Wes Cutshall's clothing brand drop ships Texas Card House merchandise. I think that company does a lot of that stuff. So I myself donned a Razor clothing mask last night. It's one of the first things I got once we went right into shutdown. Said, boy, if we're going to be coming back for poker, I want to come back in style. Let's see, poker clothing. I'll see if I can. All right, so the professor raising up here, 35K with ace-jack suited. Mays had limped under the gun. Oh, yeah, go to razorclothing.com, click Texas Card House. A whole bunch of shirts, hats, and hoodies. I'm never going to need a hoodie for like at least another 3 months, but what would you say? It was 400, maybe 500 degrees this week. Oh, well, my goodness. John Check, I won about $400 in the PLO cash game. So that was better than being down. So I was perfectly fine just being even for the night, and got a little lucky that William flop bottom set in a flush draw, and the board ran out, just forced us to get our money in. So that was a pretty good situation to be in. Folds all the way around, and Mays is going to get the walk. Charles, you need a hoodie at MGM National Harbor. It's cold. Yeah, I think there are some card rooms where you absolutely need it. Here, depending on where you're at in the room, you're usually fine. I'm always just a little bit warm anyway, boiling with rage inside slowly. No, I kid, but the 603. Hey, Mike, can you live stream a 1-2 game? I would like to see what average players' bot process is, and you could break it down. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what our 1-3 game is for. 1-3 match a stack can sometimes can be fairly similar to how our 1-2 plays, depending on what players are on the table. I mean, we've seen the game play a little bit bigger than normal, I think, for the past, actually for the last several months, I think. So 1-3 is relatively close enough, I think, and still attractive to our audience. It's still, hey, wants to see the big pots and the big action at stakes that are more relatable to them. And I kind of prefer it that way, too, so. John Shack Billiam is the nicest guy. It's probably bittersweet. Yeah, absolutely. It was not kill or be killed, unfortunately. But he's been on the stream many times. I think I just need to get into cash games with Everett and William, because those two guys were on my table the last time I had a pretty big session in 1-2 here at TCH. So, all right. And that was I can't express to you how super fun that was. Even shorthanded, just with that crew. As we continue here, Cole at about 582K, Johnny second here at 323. He started kind of near the bottom at the start of this and has been on the rise. Mays slowly declining a little bit, but around the same chip position as when he started. Professor has been scrambling his way up. McPartridge boy, I don't want big action. I want small stakes. Well, I appreciate the feedback. You're one person. So, I mean, unless we would get a huge onslaught of people demanding 1-2 action, I think our schedule will probably stay as it is as much as we would love to accommodate everybody. I think we have the right mix of relatively small stakes cash, bigger stakes cash, tournament, and also PLO. All right, fold it all the way around as Cole is going to pick it up, and he's playing really well. So, all right, so top 5 places paying. So I guess this means we got to see who you guys are rooting for. Press 1 for Johnny, 2 for Rob Flo. So here's your chance to vote in the chat box. You don't even have to register to vote. You've not been gerrymandered out of it. Everyone gets a voice here on TCH Live. Press 1 for Johnny, 2 for Rob Flo, 3 for Albert. Press 4 for Cole, 5 for Mays, 6 for the Professor. Sound off with your vote. Vote or die here on TCH Live. Wasn't that MTV that used to have that campaign, Vote or Die? It got a little too serious. Just maybe a little bit too intense. All right, here we go as we continue. Blinds, 5,000 and 10,000, 25-minute levels. Michael, who is the Asian guy in the blue TCH shirt, that is Young, a.k.a. the Professor. One of the just absolutely best tournament players here in the Austin scene. Really, really sharp dude. Just always seems to get here to the end. What's going on, David Bralier? Shout out TCH Live. What's up, Mike? How's it going? All right, we got to raise up here by Cole. Out of the big blind, Johnny had limp for 10K. And he's going to take a flop here with 9-8 suited in position. I don't necessarily love this on the bubble, while you're waiting to try to bust a player, but maybe it feels like if I can just smash my hand here, maybe I can pick up some more chips. All right, so we've got a vote for the Professor, for Cole, for Mays. We've got a vote. 2 votes for Professor, 2 for Rob Flo. I'm voting for Albert. That's going to be my pick. The comeback kid himself. turn is going to be an 8 here for Johnny as it goes check, check. Cole hoping to get this one to showdown, and Johnny might have a chance to win at this. It's going to be a little suspicious after the turn check. I like that Johnny would bet when he was checked too. Unfortunately, the story's not going to add up, and he's going to get looked up here. As Cole most certainly was going to call the turn anyway with the middle pair and the nut flush draw, but I think the mistake there is just playing the hand to begin with when you're one away from the bubble bursting. Black Sheep's underrated. I loved it. Yeah, that was a prime time of comedy right there. Vote for Donnelly. It came right after Tommy Boy did. It was not quite as good as Tommy Boy in that it's just so timeless and it still holds up to this day. But yeah, Gary Busey in there. Drake Savage. Voter fraud in Washington. So I guess probably still holds up because people still whine and cry about that crap too. So I don't know how realistic. I'm going to be leading us down a bad path if I continue any further. All right, John is going to shove here for 136K. Here with King Jack, just above 11 big blinds. So absolutely a good shove here, and going to pick up the blinds and antes. So again, cast your vote here in the TCH live chat. Press 1 for Johnny, 2 for Rob Flo, 3 for Albert, 4 for Cole, 5 for Maze, 6 for Professor. Mike, is there any table talk about top 5 paying anything to 6th? Okay, they are agreeing to pay out that spot.
They're giving them their money back.
Okay, so, well, it'll adjust the payout slightly, but gonna get their money back if we finish 6th. So Rob Flo's gonna shove with ace queen, and we'll get no action. So Rob, ebb, and flow. Again, hit that like button, click subscribe. We stream Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. It's our Sunday tournament final table, Monday 5-5, Thursday 1-3 MegaStack. I think we're going to have Bart Hansen do our Thursday game. I know I will be gone this Thursday through Sunday. I'll be here in the commentary chair for Monday, but Thursday through Sunday I will be in sunny Florida. As many of you at TCH Live Legends down around the Delray Beach, Fort Lauderdale area, hit me up. I'd love to meet some of the fans. But stay 6 feet away from me and wear a damn mask. That is all I ask. All right, 6 and 12K big blind ante. So effectively we've got, 30K right in the middle. Here comes Albert. Here comes my vote, Albert. He's got ace-8. Cole's going to give up his king-10. Maze gives up pocket 4s. Johnny here with 9 deuce. Our guy, Albert, still surviving. John, does Bart Hansen do a live stream from Austin? Yes, he has moved. He moved out of California back, I think, in January or so. So he has been trying to buy a new house, keep up with some business ventures. Also with everything with Crush Live Poker. So we do have Bart every once in a while. It's a luxury. So I think he's been preferring to play online for the time being. As I'm sure we'll see Mr. Bart back soon enough. So he handles a lot of the highlight reels that you see on our channel. So always make sure to hit like on that. All right, we have Cole limping, Mays limping. We've got the professor here on the button. So I got position. We got a couple of limpers. Let's raise it up here to 37K. Queen Jack suited is going to get a fold out there, and that's why he's one of the best. He recognizes spots like this where, with his reputation, he's not going to get played back at very often with weaker hands. But he can just hammer on the button and pick up, about, what was like 60K in free chips there. RP. Do you guys not have big games after COVID? I don't see Bart in the game since COVID. I don't know how those two are related. We have had some pretty monster 5-5 games with stacks of 10,000 or like players with 5K to 10K stacks. So our 5-5 uncapped game plays more like a 5-10 or like a 10-20 to some degree. So we still have plenty of big games here on TCH Live. John Collins, not the John Collins that's the starting power forward for the Atlanta Hawks, says Johnny Cakes Washington State. Rob Flo is overdue. Probably, man. It's kind of unfortunate for him that he tried to bluff catch and with jacks against eights when Cole had flop bottom set. And Cole's got a lot of momentum right now, man. He's playing really well. All right, good a time as any to check in from wherever you are watching from. So hit us up here in the chat or in the comments section. Let us know where you are watching TCH Live tonight. So, ooh, sneaky limp here by Mays. Rob Flo on the button. He is going to call here with ace-9. And it's going to work out. Cole's got steam in his eyes. He's going to try to raise it up here. And I would have thought this was an opportunity to bomb it back in, but May's going to try to set the trap, hoping for a good flop. And that's good as any for his hand. Cole absolutely misses. Get it in, young man. Get it on in there. So we got a bet of 45K. Oh, just got to bring him along for the ride for one more street. Dangerous territory, but still way out in front. Oh, it's a straight draw here for Cole. All right, can't mess around any further, but dodges some outs. Gonna bet 75K, and I don't think anybody's gonna recognize that he has queens here in the spot. Elsnore Brewing, COVID-19 is a manufactured crisis. Okay. RP at New Jersey. It's crap. Ohio casinos will run the craps tables and whatever, but not Ohio. That makes sense. From Yorkville, Ohio, watching and enjoying the stream from Tulsa, Oklahoma. What are the cards to the right of the deal? Those are the place cards. So when a player gets knocked out, that is what they take to the cage to get their payouts. So if you get fourth place, we're going to give you a card. This is fourth place, so you can take that to the cage, and you can be like, give me my money. Give me my money now. It's my money, and I want it now. It took a long way to get to a J.G. Wentworth joke, but here we are. So again, my name is Mike Youngblood. Again, hit us up here in the chat. Let us know where you are watching from. And if you want to check out Texas Card House merch, go to razorclothing.com, click on the store, and Texas Card House. There's a lot of neat shirts here, but I am such a cheap ass, and I'm just never, I'm like, hey, I'm not paying for merch. You can hand it to me, but, or else I get a discount. Like, I am very cheap that way. I am a t-shirt and shorts kind of guy, so it's. I just gotta get more full houses against Williams before I can upgrade my bankroll for more to expand my wardrobe. Not kidding, of course. I love Towley. Who doesn't love Towley? Says watching in Brazil. Don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to bring a towel. Towley! William Brown, what's the buy-in for this game? It's a $150 buy-in, plus 20 tournament entry fee, plus $10 dealer appreciation for an extra $5K in chips. John Hurston watching from Houston. What's up, H-Town? Rivalry brewing here between Austin and Houston here at TCH. Friendly rivalry, though, I think. All right, Cole raises here in the cutoff. Johnny here with King Queen. Get it in there, Johnny. Cole may have priced himself in here. So with the 42K raise, the blinds are... what? I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. I would have thought... I have this kind of superstition that when I play online, I do not like shoving into the big stack. Does anybody else subscribe to that theory? Don't play online against the big stack because you always run like absolute garbage. Like, that became a rule for me at Stars. Just never push into the big stack because you always get effed online. Durbo, watching from Woodbridge, VA. Got to try to come up when I get back up. We appreciate that. We hope to see you here. All right, we got some limps. We got some limping. And Johnny's King-Queen fold are going to pay off. He's picked up Ace-King. Going to shove here out of the small blind. He might get looked up somewhere. Cole has got about 700K. He could think Johnny's making a move here with any random King X. He might be here to gamble. He's going to shove all in over the top. Ballsy. All right. Cole's going to flop a huge draw. Straight draw, flush draw. Hits his 5. A 4 to chop, a king to win. Unfortunately, Johnny has been knocked out, so we are down to our final 5 players. Good game, though, sir. Doesn't play a lot of tournaments, but always part of the cash game action here at TCH. The significant other Esther generally here. Well, sound players. Yeah, there was a little bit of controversy about running 2 boards all in pre-flop and PLO last night. So it was just Houston players tend to do things differently in their card rooms as far as how they view running it twice, where usually they just run off the board and then go 2 turns in rivers. In the 3 years that I've dealt here, I've not seen, I've seen it done here in Austin, but just way less frequently than we would just do 2 or 3 board runouts. All right, so down to 5-handed. Albert is going to my pick. Albert, the comeback kid, man of the people. The professor here with 20 big blinds. Rob Flo down to 5 big blinds, so he is in shove mode here. Probably in these next 3 hands. The poker robot, Wes Cutshall, owes me around $100. What about Wes Cutshall? I don't know who Wes Cutshall is. Is he like his cousin? All right, Cole has got kings here in the big blind. Mays here with king-queen suited. has limped and going to call him here with position. He has limped with a lot of hands, but it's allowed him to play with a little bit of pot control. And this could be a very dangerous flop for him. Cole with the overpair. Going to go check, check. 8 of hearts here on the turn. Mays has got about 335K back, and Cole bets 70K into this bad boy here. Absolutely going to get looked up. I haven't seen Mays show a lot of post-flop aggression. He has just kind of tended to call in these spots here. And a 4-ball on the end. So Cole is going to try to induce the bluff. Go, well, with a third spade coming out, he may be feeling like just a better to check call on this spot. And Cole just crushing. Cole the crusher here tonight. William Lottie says, I think Kutchel is the knockoff version. That is very funny. We're just teasing you, buddy. We're not... Charlotte Green says hello from Tennessee. The poker robot. Cole looks like the scientist from Independence Day. Dr. Orkin or something like that. He used to be the guy that played Data on Star Trek The Next Generation. I enjoyed that show when I was a kid, and then I kind of got out of some of the sci-fi stuff, but... Alright, folded here to Cole in the small blind. Blind versus blind. He's got 6 high and over 1,100,000 in chips. Going to raise. Come on, Mays. Shove it in. Shove it in, my guy. And he's going to get this run out here as he has been kind of sticky, but the ace high board is going to shove him out as Cole picks up the pot as Eric Mendoza says, let's go, Cole. Let's see here. John Hurston, rivalry, perhaps a tournament between two cities is in order, a 60-man, 64-person heads-up type of deal. I was trying to talk to Fireman Scott about that before. Like my dream scenario, like a year or two down the line, is have like a series called like the Battle for Texas and try to mix in like cash games, tournaments, maybe try to come up with some kind of points qualifying system between all the major cities here within the states and regions. I think it would be fun, but it's also kind of a logistical nightmare to try to organize, but someday we can dream of this. All right, check bet here is Professor first act out of the big blind is going to call the 30K. All right, Professor banks a 5 here on the end. Had a wheel draw. He's going to get the showdown and see that he got a little lucky there on the end. Helps to be good, helps to be a little bit lucky. Professor, a little bit of both here as Alan says at 2 final tables online. Let's see if I can bank them both again. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Just do a couple tourneys, and the winners all play a final table. TCH Dallas versus TCH Houston, RGV, and Austin. I mean, that was the kind of the idea behind some of the Scots tournaments, was to try to have a little bit of that and also support the legislative efforts that have to go in with the lobbying for poker. We've not obviously done that since then, but that was kind of the idea. But I think we can make this like a marketable, awesome event that we can attract rooms from all across the state in, but it's, like I said, it's sounds like a nightmare to try to organize. And I hope Cole, if he's rewatching this, does not take us as a jab. Be compared to that guy from Independence Day. I watched that again this Independence Day, and it still holds up. A little ridiculous in times, a lot of holes in that plot, but... So we're down here to our last 5 here at the MegaStack final table. Albert here with ace-5. Kind of surprised he didn't jam here. May have expected that he was going to get Cole to do it for him. Cole has flopped middle pair and a straight draw. Albert here with just a gut shot back for spades. And tough one here for our guy Albert. My vote. Don't do it, Albert. Don't do it. You're my pick. Pick a better spot. You can. Up, he's going to do it. Albert must think he's going to run good. He might actually. Cole's got way too many chips here to get out of this hand. He thinks he's going to be getting in it worse than what he might think, but. The 51K, he's still thinking about folding, but he's got well over $1 million. This is not a bad spot to gamble with, but if he really feels like he's up against a better hand anyway, but we see that he's got him crushed. Albert all in for 81K. Cole here in the tank. He's probably trying to figure out what exactly Albert could be making this move with. Would he limp with like a hand, say like 8-7? Could he already have the 4-5? I mean, he's blocking 4-5 for sure with the 6-5. And does he have clubs? Does he have overs? He's in way better position than he thinks, but Albert does have backdoor spades. Oh, okay. No. And that one is going to go here to Cole. So my pick has been eliminated. Good job hanging in there, Albert. Going to be knocked out in 5th place. See what the payouts that are adjusted, but nonetheless, he came in here at really super short stack and managed to hang around a little bit further. Yeah, a lot of the chat's saying like that should be a clear call. Yeah, I'm not sure what he was thinking of, but I mean, if he's shorter stacked, I definitely don't blame him for taking his time a little bit more there. But it's like you've committed a decent amount with a flop bet that. Yeah, I think Albert is going to look back and probably wish he had jammed there, and maybe overthought the hand. I don't think I would get any disagreement with him. Then it's probably like, yeah, that's probably a shove in that spot, but that's the way the game goes sometimes. All right, the raise here on the button by Rob Flo. He's got 69K back. Nice. And he's going to shove it right here in the middle of the lines. Looks like, is it 8K, 16K now? That is correct. 8K, 16K. Cole here out of the big blind, 57K more to call. And he's going to gamble. Going to be way further behind than he thought. Maybe hoping his cards were going to be live, but on a heater here. Going to need diamonds. He's going to be drawn dead as Rob Ebb and Flow. Going to double up to double up and more to up to about 150K. Vladimir Putin says vote Putin 2020. This guy keeps showing up in our chat. Is it really an election year in Russia? And is this exactly the place that you want to be pandering to voters here? I did not realize we had a huge Russian contingent. That was one thing I noticed when I rewatched the stream last night was I really thought that I was taking my time with a lot of decisions. And then as I watched it, it just looked like every decision was a snap decision. So maybe I need to tank for more camera time next time. Maze is down to 10 big blinds. Rob Flo with 12 bigs. Professor here with 280. But they're all chasing Cole here with 1.1 million in chips. Alan, sometimes it's worth slow rolling. We're talking about William, who finished heads up last week in the final table. Tried to trap his opponent with aces. Opponent flop trip sixes. Kind of tanked for a while, and I think we're all kind of sitting there going, "What are you thinking about here, buddy? You got." Yep, TCH Live is massive in St. Petersburg. Yep, or check out our TCH Moscow location. It's where we send off all the people who have been rejected here, send them out to Siberia to run our TCH. No, we're kidding. We're definitely kidding. What's going on, Jedi Master Ted? Legend. So we have the Professor raising here with the Queen Jack suited. Maze here out of the big blind. This is, I think if you're going to play it, this is a shove. Professor making sure what the bet amounts are and that the chips are right. So all right, so the Professor's actually going to, I don't know what in the world happened there, but looks like some kind of mix-up in Maze. I had thought he had called, looked away here for a moment. Iggy Bitcoin, the peaceful protest. Okay, all right. If you want to join us here in the chat, do so. Over 378 live viewers. Do the American and patriotic thing and hit that like button for us. Smash the like, destroy the like, press it, push it, drop kick the like button, unleash hell on the like button. Mikey, thoughts on Marcus Morris getting suspended for a game? Absolutely. What a piece of crap. I mean, I think the first trip may not have been intentional against Luka Doncic earlier on in the series against the Mavs. But he's been, boy. On one hand, I respect the fact that the guy is actually a really, really solid type of role player. Always kind of undervalued to a degree, but it's just, and sometimes things are accidental and sometimes things get out of line, but man, that was a little uncalled for today. So a one-game suspension I think is warranted, and hopefully that should be the end of it. And okay, Maze is going to shove on the button here with Queen 9 suited. Shoves and a Rob Flo here in the big blind. Here with King 10 high. kind of a marginal spot. We haven't seen Mays raise up with much of anything, so if I'm in Rob Flow's shoes, like this is such a hard hand to try to decipher if it's worth playing. We see he's got an advantage. PS shakes 1, 2, 3. PS Marcus Moore is dirty. He's from Filthy. I think you're meaning Philly, but nice. Yeah, I don't want to make too much out of it. I was very pissed off when I saw it, just because there seems to be a pattern developing, and I think that might have been acceptable in the older NBA, but yeah, that's why you have discipline. You get your point across with the suspension, and if that's it, then it's a game, fine. I mean, that's hopefully enough to deter any future behavior that might injure another player, but and all right. Jedi Master Ted. Hey, Carolyn, I was watching a live of the bike yesterday. Noticed the table and commentator had equal shares of the feed, and the announcer just kind of talks around the chatter, just saying, well, good for live of the bike. They can do whatever the hell they want. I will do what I like. Yeah, we've been over this like 1,000 times, guys. We would have to invest in lapel mics, hire another sound person. And if we did it that way, I would commentate on the game completely different, but it's not. Yeah, we're not at that point yet. Maybe someday, but that's. And trust me, if we ever did do that, my style as to how to do this would absolutely evolve. But as of now, keep it like it is. Rob Flo now picks up King 10 that he can shove with. And going to go ahead and pick up 40K in chips. Hello to Gary C., our most thirsty of chatters. Try to warn you about not being too thirsty here in the TCH live chat, but boys will be boys, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm still down to 4 hand. The next player to bust out will take home $700. What's going on, Bryce McCurchy? What a badass name. It's kind of like the comedian Kate McCucci. All right, we got May shoving all in here with ace queen. Cole had opened up 42K here with jack 10. All right, now, well, I mean, I think probably now everybody's going to be voting for Cole, so. If we did another vote. All right, so he's going to try to knock out a player here with jack 10, ace queen holding on. Holding on. Oh, a jack peels here on the turn. A queen hits on the river, though. The suck, resuck. May survives. He's going to be back up here to 228K. Cool. We'll get a small hit out of his stack, but a manageable one at that. Yeah, I read that, Gary C. I am taking everything with a little bit of skepticism on the news, so this is not really the time or the place to. I don't know what it is about people watching poker that decide, like, hey, I want to introduce topics that just piss people off here. Let's talk about this. Oh, I'm aware, Ted. It's just we've been over this that I just don't want to feel like I'm repeating myself on some of this stuff. Snot Bubbles, man, this dealer is fast like an online game. That's our boy Jordan. hardest worker in the game. Always logging hours. As crisp as they get. All right, we got looks like a limp here by Cole. Looks, yeah, call a 16K. All right, let's see. The professor limping here completes from the small blind with 10-5 suited. What's going on, Nick from Yuma? Our boy Nicky. Little Nicky from Yuma. Poker royalty. Back here as, all right, 8K, 16K. Yeah, we have added some really good folks to our dealer staff here for the past couple of weeks, so make sure you take care of them on the tables. All right, 8K, 16K. The guy talking, do you have a list of games that you come on? I'm not sure what you mean, but... All right, Rob Flo is going to shove with our first pair of aces I think we've seen here at the final table. The professor had raised on the button with Jack 10 offsuit, but not going to be able to call Rob Evan Flo. McPartridge Boy. Here's a good actual comment here by McPartridge Boy. Do you guys forget what you learn when you play poker? I'm applying about 50% of what I learned. The rest I just forget in the heat of the moment. I think that's pretty standard for a lot of things you learn, whether it be on the educational side. Your brain can only really take in so much that it just takes time to put in the foundational parts that you go from, unconscious, incompetent, where you don't know what you don't know, to conscious incompetence, where you're like, okay, I know what I don't know, to get to conscious competence, where you're like, okay, I'm aware of what I do know, until you reach the point where I think the elite players are at, that, your thought processes flow really easily through unconscious competence, and you can't cheat the system. I mean, sometimes you might be a super genius, and your learning curve's going to be a lot better, but like all of us, we've all had to take our hits the hard way. All right, Cole going to raise here on the button. Again, we are showing the payouts in between every other hand. 2,610 for first, 1,620 for second, 960 for third, 700 for fourth. At commentator, if you had to pick, do you think Cole or the field wins? Absolutely. The Cole is. I can't even imagine what the odds are here in his favor. It would for me. I would think it would have to be the professor has to knock out the other two short stacks, and then I think he would have as good a shot as anybody to overcome the chip deficit. Alan, careful how you spelled nuggets. Yeah, there was a controversy online about that due to the very offensive nature of that. I don't want to continue with the story. It was very unfortunate, but always be careful about your spell check. Or your autocorrect. So JTN, a $5 super chat. I think I'm going to put my tax refund to good use and spend a week in Austin hanging out and spending too much time at TCH. That sounds like a greatest vacation as it gets. Gary C., the greatest Cole ever was Nat King Cole. I don't know, what about J. Cole? What about Cole Trickle, the guy from Days of Thunder? The greatest NASCAR movie of all time, and perhaps maybe the only NASCAR movie of all time. All right, top two here for Mays. Queen high flush draw here for Rob Flo, but now it's turned into sevens full of eights. So Mays here with the nuts. Oh, excuse me, the second nuts. Obviously, aces full. Gonna trap Rob Flo, looking for Rob to catch up. He's gonna miss the river though. Sevens full of aces, the best hand. And here comes the river lead. Rob Flo first act. Shove it in, my good man. And a re-raise here as Rob's got no reason to call, but was worthy of taking a stab at it. Thanks, William. $2 super chat, so here's some more of my money. The Nits money is the best money, I say, because it's the hardest to get. I kid, of course. I'd be curious, William, what do you think about the movie Days of Thunder? Is it Robert Duvall, Tom Cruise? Rubbin's Racing, right? What a ridiculous movie, but it was so good in its time. Rob Flo gonna limp here with exactly 10 big blinds with 10-9 suited. Blinds are going to check, and a huge flop for him. Mays has flopped top pair and an open-ended straight draw. Rob Flo, he's got a straight draw, flush draw, and gonna get a quick call here. So we have a coin flip, overs, and a flush draw. Mays is blocking the straight here with a 7 in his hand. 5 here on the turn, still good, and a 5 on the end. And that is it here for Rob Flo. His 4th straight week at the final table. He was crippled when he ran his jacks into 8s full of kings and paid off a bet by Cole, and that really swung the momentum back into Cole's favor. Well, yeah, look at this cast for Days of Thunder. You had Tom Cruise, Robert Duvall, Nicole Kidman, Randy Quaid, Carl Ewes, Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker played Roddy Burns, of course, the villain. You had John C. Reilly. I'm going to have to watch this movie, even as ridiculous of a concept as it was, but did not think I would ever talk about Days of Thunder on this, but here we are. Ford versus Ferrari was absolutely one of my favorite movies of the year. Absolutely love that movie. That was back when you could kind of go into a movie theater safely. Second pair here for Professor, King High Clubs. For Mays, who is rallying here, he's got 411K. Now short-handed, he's going to have to play a little less passively. I like what he's doing here, as he's going to go ahead and lead at it. And he gets Professor to fold out a slightly better hand. Yeah, my name is Mike Gamblett, aka Dude Talking. If you have not done so, hit that like button, click subscribe or stream Mondays, Thursdays, and every Sunday. I will be back tomorrow here for Mondays 5-5. Then I'm going to be off this Thursday and Sunday. So she'll have some other fine voices to listen to. As shout out to Mike Major, did a nice job for us last night. Not an easy game to broadcast, and that did pretty well. I enjoyed listening to it. All right. Cole is going to pick up the pot as he bets a gutter ball. John Shack, I'm sorry we won't see Black Panther 2. Rest in peace, Chadwick, an absolute legend. Cancer sucks. Yeah, that was a pretty sad news story. I would sometimes get off the table here at TCH when I was done dealing and do the Wakanda Forever thing. And I would get like the most like confused stares. Because normally as a dealer, you clap your hands, show your hands up, and leave the table. And I just, instead of just saying good luck, everybody, I'd snap off a good old Wakanda Forever, and nobody would ever get the joke. All right, we got a fold here out of Cole out of the small blind. We are three-handed. Professor here with 12 big blinds. Still within range, one double up. He could be sitting in a really nice chip position. Mays has been kind of fluctuating back and forth. But here with 400K in chips, getting some momentum, and life's good for Cole right now, isn't it? It's picked up aces on the button. And gonna get no action here as Nick Yima, Sunday. TCH Live. Jerry Vagan last night I stayed up late playing poker with tarot cards. I got a full house and 4 people died. Isn't that a head perk joke? Or somewhere along those lines. Maybe like Dimitri Martin. Ethan, is Boban a caveman? Hey, don't ever disrespect that Boban in this channel. That's a bannable offense. Is Professor going to pick up the pot? I will take no Boban Marjanovic slander here in this chat. Ethan asked Mike, what is your favorite TV show of all time? Probably The Wire. That or Prime Simpsons. Oh, Stephen Wright. Yeah, Stephen Wright wrote that joke, Jerry. That's right. The Wire, Breaking Bad. They are, all right, so blind versus blind, 5 high versus ace 4 high. Alec Torelli saying, I heard what you said about Albert being tight when there's no fold equity, and I agree. He was a bit tight, but I feel the people are too loose. Yeah, that's... There are some tables where his strategy is absolutely golden. There are some where it's not going to pay off, and that's tournament poker here. As Cole had turned a pair of 5s, Mays also turned a wheel draw. Credit to him. Gonna bet the river here, 60K. Not a ton of, the club gets there. Mays does not have a club in his hand, but maybe senses that he can pick up the pot. And a very nice bet there by Mays. Jedi Master Ted, what is The Wire? What did you just say to me? One of the greatest shows of all time that was on HBO. 5 seasons centered around the city of Baltimore. Drugs, gangs, police. It's actually probably worth a rewatch now, knowing what we know about what's happening in society. They really craft the story to share all the elements between politics, education, poverty, generational wealth, shipping. Like, it's just such a very well-faceted and produced story. Some of the best written dialogue and scripts of all time. I'm kind of surprised. I guess I thought it was more mainstream by this point, but it's about between. I'm trying to think of when The Wire. All right, Cole has raised up 60K. We've got the Professor jamming all in for the 179K. This would be a pretty big bet here for Cole to call. Any ace-x suited, three-handed, all of a sudden becomes a pretty monster hand. He's put in 60K, so another 119 more. And he's going to call, so the Professor's going to have to get a little lucky, but you understand the spot. Cole could be opening up pretty wide. And he's going to flop top pair, but we got the nut flush draw here for Cole. Nine's good, and not no more. The Professor has been eliminated. Good game there, sir. And Cole is just a steam engine right now, rolling through this tournament. The chip leader, as we go to heads up. JTN Watch Billions, really interesting. I'm on the 4th season right now. That's what my binge has been the last couple of weeks. Almost towards the end of the 4th season. That is definitely up there as one of the shows I've really enjoyed the most. Jedi Master Ted's just finished Ozark for the 3rd time. I don't know if I can do that. That's last season. There's some. It's stressful watching shows like that. You get really invested in it, but all right, here we go. Heads up. 10K, 20K. Cole going to raise here out of the big blind. Maze is going to fold down. So both these players relatively deep here. Again, Maze, about 488K against second place. Going to take home 1,620. First, 2,610. Cole going to put a huge size raise there on the button with some 10s. Maze is going to fold the 6-9 on. Ethan, what's the highest blind level this tournament has ever got to? When we used to have like 80-plus players, I'm pretty sure we've gotten to the 50 and 100,000 mark before. This is pretty standard here by this point that we're at heads up at 10 and 20K. We had a really tight final table a couple of weeks ago that was still, I think, like 5-handed at this point. We do have blind levels announced to up to 150,000, 300,000 with the 300,000 big blind ante, but I mean, the only time you're ever going to see that is if, I mean, we really get like above 80 entries and there's a ton more chips in play. No, 603, you can't say that. That's an awfully crappy thing to say. All right, as we continue here on TCH Live, my name is Mike Youngblood, aka Dude Talking. This or announcer man. Cole gonna raise here on the button here with A7 offsuit. Not had too many hands playable for either. Cole has been kind of pricing his opponent out of playing post flop. which I think with blinds 10K and 20K makes absolute sense that rather than have an opponent that's kind of been sticky post-flop and kind of just chip them down bit by bit. Ethan, there were 44 total players here into this. All right, 5-4 versus Queen 5. Bottom pair here for Maze, as he's going to bet one check two. $0.99 super chat here for John from John Shack. Let's give a shout out to my dog. As always, appreciate it, John. Little dunk shout out sticker. All right, as we continue here, heads up, as good fold here by Cole on the ball. Oh, Mays had queens. How sick is that? I don't know if you guys saw it, but a couple of days ago, John Little had another poker training video featuring the Queen of Felts cash game session here at Texas Card House. I think Juliet told me that he's going to do one more. That gives a little shout out here to Texas Card House. So as we continue, as we're 420 live viewers at this point. Appreciate y'all stopping in. Make sure to click subscribe. I do 3 streams a week and monthly Saturday PLO. All right, 8-5 versus King 7. There is going to be a gutter ball here for Cole and for Maze. Maze on the bottom end of it. Maze is going to pick it up though with some. Oh, actually, excuse me. Cole is going to pick up the pawn here with some aggression. So again at TCH Houston, there is PLO Tuesdays and Thursdays with Big O on Thursdays at the Houston location. Tuesdays and Thursdays here, we have high hand. Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 4 p.m. If you guys want to take advantage of the progressive savings special, we have that for one more day into tomorrow. 20% off your hourly rate if you play for 5 hours or more, 30% if you play 7 hours or more, and if you play 10 hours or more, that is 40% off your hourly rate. That is one more day only, tonight and tomorrow. Here on Texas Card House in Austin. All right, top pair here for Maze. Cole has got a backdoor straight draw, potentially, as he's going to take a lead out, and he does turn second pair. Bet of 100K. As we go to showdown, Cole tried to bet him off the hand. Maze looks him up, and that is a pretty significant pot for Maze, as he's now closed the gap in chips. He's creeping right back up with Cole, so Nick from Yuma, Thomas and James Little are the GOATs. What about Nasir Little of the Portland Trailblazers, formerly the North Carolina Tar Heels? There's also Lil Jon, the famous Littles. We're also speculating as to who is the most high-profile Cole. J. Cole, Nat King Cole, Cole Trickle. There's got to be more. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. All right, Cole is going to fold his button with 7-3. Cole Hummels, the former left-handed pitcher. Cole Aldrich, the former University of Kansas center. You know, the ones that everybody knows. There's also little Jerry Seinfeld, says Nick from Yuma. Natalie Cole, Cole South, Old School. Shirley Cole, Coltrane. All right, so Cole picks up here a pair of sevens, going to pick up the pot. We had a former dealer, Cole, who I haven't seen play here for a while. Really strong tournament player. I think he won one of the $500 Sunday tournaments one time. So we haven't had a whole lot of hands go to showdown here, heads up, but Mays has put a dent into that lead by Cole. You guys have contributed way more Coles than I thought we would here in the chat. Hats off to you guys. Fantastic. Best fans in the business. All right, top pair here for Mays. Gonna go check, check. Good trap set here by Mays. Cole's not falling for it, though, so I think we'll probably see a flop bet and a fold, but... Gonna go ahead and take her down. 2,620 for second, 2,610 for first. So again, if you did not check out that PLO stream last night, yours truly was on it after about the 2 hours, 30-minute mark. So if you want to go back and check that out, you can see me misplay a few hands, get a little lucky on a few. Ethan says, did you see Dustin Johnson's insane putt and then Rahm's even better one? I did not, no. I used to like following golf. I just don't have the bandwidth to follow it all, so I watched the NBA game here this afternoon. All right. So we'll continue here, heads up on TCH Live. That stream would have gone longer. Mikey would have ended up with a 5K stack. It was, I was hoping we were going to be able to be a little bit more six-handed. I've never really played four-handed PLO cash before. So it's just, it's not hard. It was just different. So, all right, gutter ball here for Cole. Mays. Gonna go check and check. 8 ball on the end. Mays has the best hand. The third pair on the board. Probably going to bet and get a fold. So. So as we keep it moving, if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, you can do so at tch.atx or at Texas Card House on Instagram and Twitter. Follow tch.dallas. If you want text updates about TCH Dallas, text TCH Dallas to 21000. You can get updates on that. Also follow tch.htx for all the news going on over there. Kino Savage says, if you think tournament poker all luck, like playing slots, then you must think winning at chess is like winning the lotto. I think that's kind of an apples and oranges argument, but I see the point that you make. It is certainly not all luck. And I don't think anybody smart is making that argument, but there certainly is an element or a degree of it that has to exist to win one, but over the long term, obviously the skill matters because, all right, Mays has picked up nines. He checks it over here to Cole, and he's kind of fold here with nines. I was kind of surprised he maybe didn't bomb it there. Nines heads up is such a huge hand. I would have thought he would have maybe taken one more straight on it, but decided did not like the queen there on the board. Yeah, I think the mistake was not maybe bombing it pre-flop, and there may have been a chance that maybe he got Cole to commit his chips. Yeah, that's on the tighter side, but that's all right. All right, Jack 6 versus Ace 9. Mays had bet the flop. Cole had just check called, check the turn, and then Mays spikes a higher 2-pair here on the end. It does put 3 hearts out there, so we're definitely at least getting a call, but can Mays go for the throat here and put in a raise to get some more chips off his opponent? He's going to call. Mays has made a runner better 2-pair. And Cole probably can't believe it, but I mean, if you look at how he played it, I really don't have any problem with just, hey, check calling the flop. It's just poker. That was a kind of a bummer hand for Cole. Very fortunate for Mays, but there's not a thing Mays did wrong in that hand whatsoever. He bet the flop, check back when he was behind. I don't think he slow rolled there. I don't know if he saw Cole's hand there for a stretch. So I think what happened was he was still waiting to see what exactly Cole had. So, and now that has put Mays in the chip lead. Yeah, I think he was just waiting for Cole to flip up his hand before he revealed what he had. But what can you do? Yeah, cooler indeed. Heads up. We're gonna see how Cole responds here. Sometimes players can unravel at this point, start steaming. We'll see how he responds. That is always the task for poker players at this point. You take what is a pretty bad beat, and it is only accentuated by being heads up and just this close to the finish line, but he picks up ace-king. Not going to get any action with the Doyle Brunson suited. Yeah, I don't think that was a slow roll, so none whatsoever. So Ethan, is my TCH Austin membership good at any TCH? I don't believe it is. Each club kind of has its own kind of membership. So, oh my goodness, Mays has flop top pair. Cole has bottom set. Buckle up here, folks. Could be some backdoors here for Mays. That's one of them. Cole with bottom set and a commanding lead. Mays has a slight chip advantage and now has turned a straight draw here with middle pair. So it goes check and check. No! I saw Jordan tap his palm down. And then, okay, so he shoves. We've got a call here by Mays. He's going to have to get lucky, hit an 8 or a king. And whammy right on the river. Oh, my goodness. Whew. Runner, runner, never funner. Cole is crippled. He is eliminated. Mays has won our Sunday final table, $150 MegaStack, $6K guaranteed prize pool. Hats off to Mays. What a comeback here on the final table. As Cole really unlucky in a couple of different spots. Can't blame him for the way that he handled it. He got his opponent drawing in pretty thin with the set. Can't really blame Mays for calling there. He flops top pair, turns a straight draw, and banks the king here on the end. So that is going to do it for us here on a TCH Live. Shout out Carolyn. Shout out to our floor, our dealers, Tim and Bert, running what was a very busy day here at Texas Card House, and our awesome staff. Thank you guys very much for watching. We will see you tomorrow night here on TCH Live 5-5 edition.